Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jericho Podcast. Guys, this is episode 2 of season 2. Thank you very much for joining us and watching from home or wherever you're watching from. Um, this is a crazy interview. When I started this back in October with the guy, I was not expecting to have this gentleman here on the show. This is crazy. It's truly a blessing. Rockstar JT is in the building. Thank you so much for coming on the show, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Hello. I don't know if people can see me, so I'm just gonna say the West. I don't know if you can. How y'all doing today?
We can see you. We can see you very clearly. Thank you very much for coming on the show, dude. You've had an interesting career over the past year with music and videos. I've watched you very closely. People that I've spoken to over the past, when I tell them how closely I watch artists, they would call me a stalker or over obsessive. But I'm very keen on detail, and I'm very focused, and I watch people very closely because I want to see what they're up to. Recently, you came out with a Lil Nas X diss. Is that correct?
Well, it was kind of a troll. So basically, it was a troll song. I don't know. It was a joke that somebody said someone on Instagram. It's just when you got so many people on Instagram just talking.
Yep.
I promoted it. I was joking around, so it's not really a diss, but it's just a song um, that I think is fire, and I think I love Lil Nas X personally. So like, I'm not gonna call it a diss. You feel me? I'm just gonna say like, yo, I just go with the troll antics that the
Yeah.
people bring me to do. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I think if you say, well, obviously, but if whatever you tell people on Instagram or TikTok, they're gonna believe it at first. If um if it has like that type of display, I'm trying to word this correctly. Yeah. So it was a troll, which is awesome. I listened to the song. I thought it was dope. I loved it. I shared it on my story. You're really good. Your sound is very what's the word? You gain people's attention, I would say, because your style is a little different, right? Because you have the hip hop, you have the country part, and how do you see the industry? Would be the first question, I think.
I mean, every industry is every industry, bro. Um, when you think about it, every industry is every industry. If you're in the music industry, if you're in the entertainment industry, like those tie together a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in like the plumbing industry, if you're in the trucking industry, if you're in the heck the radio industry, like every industry is the industry. And like how I look at that is like, man, the industry operates the way the industry operates, and the industry is going to have to go the way the industry operates, because if the industry stops for anybody, that industry would be a dead industry. So
Yep.
that means is already infrastructure built in industries, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I kind of couldn't a little bit know where you're going about this. So how I feel about the industry when you say that is the music industry. I love the music industry, but it's different complexes of the music industry that everybody had their concerns about. But personally, I would say like I rock with the music industry. Like I couldn't see myself doing anything else but being inside of the music industry. So yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Uh, Growing up with the music influences that I have, it's a lot more conscious, and like with the conscious message of how the industry normally pushes sex or drugs or gun violence, and I myself have grown up to personally, like when I start doing music, I want to personally avoid that and stay independent, and do my own thing and try to stay out of that space. You recently came out, or not recently, sorry, where am I going with this? You did a song, I can't remember what it was called, but the cover art was provocative or revealing, and people were upset about that. I admit I was a little confused. I wanted to see what was up. And how about you talk about that for a second?
Yeah, so if you're coming from a lot of people who heard my music, when did you start listening to my music?
I found you when I think it was just before Stick came out. So it was My Migos, I think was the first song that I heard with
Well,
Tiny.
Stick was at my amigo was after Stick.
Oh,
It's
okay.
crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So so those people who heard of me during like the 2020, 2021 times, like when I got on a summer playlist, whatever, like of a certain label.
Mhm.
Um, with that being said, like a lot of people saw me and they thought like, oh, I'm just this super churchy, super this, super that guy. And sometimes I did put that out because that is a side of me. I grew up in the church. But I actually do have a side of me where it's not churchy. Where
Mm.
my biggest song that got on Euphoria was with one of the biggest drug dealers, who was one of the biggest drug dealers in my city, and a
Mhm.
secular artist who is very provocative in his music, whatever. So I think a lot of people, when they look at different things that you have in life, people think, oh, you're this or you're that. This is what we want you to be. This is what we are because you having a different thing, right? So if you're a baby, babies crawl, babies grow up though, and babies gonna walk.
Mhm.
When you are a teenager, how old are you?
I'm turning 21 in like 2 months here.
Oh wow, okay, you're not a teenager then. You look very young, but
I
you're 20.
know.
You're
I
about
know.
to be 21.
Yeah,
So I
it's a
say that
lot.
to say your parents can't tell you the same things that they told you when you was 5 years old, right?
Mm.
Um, but in the same way, your friends, they know you now, but they may have not known you 5 years. I mean, when you was 5 years old. But your parents, they know more characteristics about you because they've known you longer. And they built that relationship with you longer. So your friends may have built a relationship with you during a certain time of your life where it was very significant, and that was like, for example, people who turn into pro football players, star football players. People already know them as, yo, if you are a star football player on a football team, people know him as the star football player. When he was 5 years old, he was not the star football player.
Right. Right.
You know, they didn't see the times where a lot of these people went through, what I would call readjusting and different things like that. They didn't see all of that. So I say that to say I was a Christian, yeah, but I was already doing different things in my city where I didn't even perform at churches like that. So what I performed at was like schools and all of that. Yeah, proclaiming the name of Christ. Yeah, the music was different, but I say that to say it was a different feel. Like now and then, it's just a different feel for the music. So a lot of people don't know about the prior music or the prior platform that I had. That's why I'll never quote unquote fall off, because I already have a lot of supporters before I had all of the Christian supporters who I did not know. So basically, the song called Rockstar SHIT,
Yeah.
that you're talking about. So a lot of times when do you listen to, who's your first rapper that you listen to?
Growing up, it was gospel gangsters.
Okay, so see that right there, it throws everything out of the window, because I say this to say that. Did you ever hear you allowed to listen to like secular music?
Not back then. No, I wasn't.
Okay, so that's why did you grow up in a Christian household?
I did. Yes.
Me, I didn't grow up in a Christian household, right?
Mm.
So I'm a hip hop artist, right?
Yeah.
I am Christian, but I'm a hip hop artist. So my influences, imagine me saying my first rap group that I listened to was Gospel Gangsters. And it's no shade, but it's just like people who grew up like in different households, non-Christian households. We grew up on secular music. We grew up on secular culture. We grew up on real hip hop culture, the stuff that started it.
Mm.
Christian hip hop did not start hip hop culture, right?
Yeah, of course.
So when you pay homage to a lot of people, I am a hip hop artist, and I studied the career of Tupac. And that picture in the tub was basically, he did a picture in the tub where he had Thug Life. I put Rockstar as he had the bubble sud or whatever. Basically, what I was trying to explain is just like, yo, I knew what it was gonna do because I literally told somebody, I'm like, watch the Christians are gonna go up in a frenzy. I
Mm.
wasn't even fully. I had on some shorts or whatever. They were just pulled up or whatever. Thank the photographer because you could not see it. Shout out to my manager Marcus Cooley. So he did a really good job on that. But with that saying that, bro, I literally um, like people want to put their ideologies on you because I didn't hear about Christian hip hop or whatever until like 2012. Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like that's 2012 when I started like really going out there and rapping like 2014. So I didn't know this stuff. So it was albums prior to all of that. I didn't know that like 2008, 2009. Like I didn't know that because I didn't grow up in the church. During that time, I was listening to like Lil Wayne and like T Pain and like
Mm.
Chris Brown and like Rick Ross and like Lil Boosie and like that's what I was listening to around that time. So I'm not really inspired by Christian hip hop culture, right? I know Christian hip hop artists because of what the guys who I looked up to, the stuff that was exposed, the type of music that was exposed to me. And then I became a Christian and I started to dive into more faith based music. But I always had the hip hop background. Like, my whole name, Rockstar, comes from a secular artist. So, yeah.
That's interesting you say that because when I first started listening to hip hop, it was the Christian hip hop space because I grew up listening to gospel gangster, sure, but I didn't really connect with it, and I didn't realize what was going on because I was just a kid, right? And then when I turned like 12 or 13, I saw these kids at the back of the bus who were doing freestyles or verses of other artists, and I thought, wow, that's so cool. These kids my age are doing that, right? And so I asked them who they were doing, and they would say Lecrae or Tadashi or Andale from the old days, and so that's when I went home and I started teaching myself these verses, and that's really when I started like really focusing in and studying these artists from the CHH space. And then it wasn't until maybe like 2019 or 2020 when I started like expanding my view and accepting that not everybody's a Christian artist, right? And so then I found artists like Hobson or Tom McDonald or other artists that people may claim are corny. Fine, sure. Um, I just like their sound, and so my inspiration with CHH really started to dry out because a lot of these people, no shade to anyone, but a lot of these people are really starting to put out the same sound, and it's really getting really dry for me. Um, which brings me to my next question: how do you stay creative for songs and videos? What is your creative process when you're making a song?
Yeah, so basically, bro, I know I'm one of the coldest. I know I'm one of the most creative people. I know the music that I make, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real. A lot of them dudes, like, I don't know who exactly you talk about, but like, a lot of them guys still making the same songs that they made 3 years ago. And so when I look at that, I'm like, yo, the song I just released, I made 3 years ago. Like, what does that tell you? That song was made
Really?
3 years ago. I revamped it, yeah, but it was made 3 years ago. Where it's just like, okay, I made music 3 years ago. Y'all still sounding like 3 years ago. It's just like, yo,
Mm,
I've elevated.
mm,
So I've been running for bases. You know what I mean?
mm,
So my inspiration, um, honestly, I just I don't know. Like I have different ideas. Like I listen to a lot of like old school hip hop, bro. Like Jay-Z, and like
mm,
that's one of my inspirations when it comes to like I have a persona. The Rockstar JT persona is a very cocky, like, but a very cocky persona when it comes to my rapping or when
mm,
it comes to the creative side of different things. So that's why I've had like but people have to stop confusing personas, hip hop personas. That's another thing. Hip hop personas for the actual person. It's different things where it's just like, yo, like, people are allowed to tell stories in art, bro. So I say that to say, like, my inspiration is people like Jay Z, people like Drake, people like um, uh, Lil Wayne, people like Gucci Mane, people like Tyler the Creator, people like Tizo Touchdown. So like, I look at all of these people, and I'm like, yo, I think I love like Doja Cat and like even Lil Nas X, just the way that they like are creative and they tell stories with their actions, if that makes sense. Like not all the time. Like sometimes they may do something it's just like people like what, but then it's just like yo, the music is going to what's going to push you people. So my inspiration, bro, just comes from honestly those people. Like when I look at the way that they like use their platform and their attitudes and things like that, that inspires me. But when it comes to my music, man, honestly, bro, I just in the creative side of things, I just am a genius, I would say. Like, and I'm not even saying that. A lot of people hate when people say that because it's not self-proclaimed, but it's just like, yo, I keep on pumping, I keep on doing things. I'm not really too concerned about numbers right now because you got to understand, all these numbers are controlled, bro. Like, so I may not get 10,000 streams in a weekend right now, and that's cool because I'm basically a new artist again. There's a lot of fans, you know, when you switch genres and different things. There's a lot of people who so go don't want to listen to people like me. Exactly for your point. Um, like I know a lot of people artists who are Christians, but
Mm.
that you did not maybe grow up on, but you grew up on gospel gangsters because that's what you were able to hear. Certain people, when you grew up on that music, I guarantee that you thought some of these people were like demonic or evil people because or that was maybe what you was taught because of the message that they put out. But I think it's way deeper than that. If I'm being completely honest.
That's interesting. So with say for instance, Lil Nas X, he's one of the biggest, hottest artists out right now because of, he had Old Town Road, and then recently he just came out with, I can't even remember the song. J Christ, J Christ. I How am I trying to word this? I'm really not a fan of him. I'll just come out and say it. I really think that what he's been doing is disrespectful to Christianity, and he even came out and with the apology video and said that he really didn't think that it was. Um, what are your thoughts on that?
Uh, so look, that may be disrespectful to Christianity, but I think what's very more disrespectful to Christianity are people who claim Christianity but do not represent him in private lives. So I just say, like, yo, for example, my thoughts about Lil Nas X is, yeah, bro, like that may not be my way of doing things, but I'm just like, yo, uh, Saul in the Old Testament, and we all Christian here, he murdered Christians, bro. Like,
That's true.
you feel what I'm saying? And God converted him. People still looked at him
Mm-hmm.
crazy, but it's just like, yo, like at the end of the day, like that's mocking Christianity. You
Mm-hmm.
fools. You feel what I'm
Yep.
saying? That's literally mocking Christianity. Um, So I would say, like, bro, like everybody is entitled to their freedom of speech. I would say, do I agree with everything everybody does? No, I don't. But it's just like I don't really have too many thoughts because I'm just like, man, I really don't. I'm being honest.
Fair
I
enough.
really don't have too many thoughts because it's just like, man, bro, I don't know the guy. He could be an amazing guy behind the scenes, but what he puts out there may be blasphemy or whatever. You know what I mean? But bro, the dude got a chance. He's still young. He's still figuring stuff out, man. He's been scarred in a lot of ways. The way that Christians treat him, the way that
Mm-hmm.
Christians talk to him, like the way that Christians act towards him, it probably turned his stomach upside down. So I got a lot of grace for people like that, bro. Like you know what I mean? And sometimes mocking people, like especially like for me, bro, like I've had people in my comments before as somebody who I do love God, I believe, you know what I mean? I had people in my comments saying, yo, you demonic, you this and you that. Whole time I'm Bible study the next hour. So like I don't really you feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying like, yo, what he's doing is like okay if you're like to Christianity. I'm not saying that everybody should do this, but I'm not like the judge either, like, oh yo, bro, you shouldn't have done that. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, bro, like I pray that you feel me, like God leads you in the right direction, man. Like, but I think what's more important for him is like for me to love him, like, and if I see him, I'm gonna be his friend, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So
I 100% agree with you. I think that back to what you were saying, how he was probably hurt by the church based on what he says. I do believe that the church has failed in showing what Christianity truly is, and because the new commandment that Jesus gave is to love your neighbor as yourself, right?
yeah,
And we have done a very poor job at doing that. And something needs to happen in us in order for us to see change in the world first.
Yeah,
And I think that's what I'll say. And which brings me to
real,
my
bro.
next question.
I respect you.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna segue here for a second.
That,
How often do you tour? Or how often do you do shows?
bro. Honestly, it's been a minute. My last show was like, dang, when was my last show? Bro, my last show was a minute. It felt like a grip ago.
Mm.
Uh, was it?
That's okay. I'll just get
I
to the
know
question. So,
it was some of it. My last show was something I don't know.
okay.
My last show was like late 2023. I forgot exactly where I was at, but
Mm.
yeah. So basically, I was doing way more shows before. So basically, I'm a new artist again, bro. So basically, I'm going like I am like I do have a name in a certain space where, but it's just like when you're in a bigger pond, it's just like you're recreating yourself. So I think that's dope that I came in the market and I like made people know who I was to just go to another market and make people know who I am again. So when it comes to shows, man, I haven't been doing a lot, but shows are picking up. Like so, I say that right now, and then next week we got like so many announcements coming soon. So like not too often, but we get back on some.
For sure. What's your best experience during a performance? What's
My
that
best
one
experience.
memory? What's that one memory that's just priceless with you?
Oh man, it's just like yo, when you feel me, and this is the thing when you people know your lyrics, bro. Like you ain't got to say nothing. Like that's the biggest thing. Like bro, I'm like damn, I really impacted these many people, and like they really rapping my lyrics, and like I remember writing these lyrics in my freaking house, and they got the nerve to be rapping my lyrics. Like that's actually crazy to me. So.
Yep. Yep. I fully understand that. I haven't performed or anything yet, but I do like when I write lyrics, I sit and then I think it's trash and then I think it's good the next day and it's really up to the audience to decide. And then so that's my hope that one day when I'm on stage, I hear the crowds singing my lyrics back to me and that's I'm
Yeah,
excited for that.
that's hard, bro.
Um what would you say your style is since you are a new artist and you have it's more of an alternative kind of taste, I would say.
uh, wait, I would want you to know. What do you think my style is? Let me ask you that.
First word to describe it, I would say creative because one thing that I notice is always your cover arts. They're very flashy and they gain the attention of artists, right? Um, I would say you're in your own lane. I really can't you really can't classify it because your sound is you, which is very unique, and the Nas this and what was the other one? Rockstar, that song. So um, I would say outgoing and creative is what I would call it.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I'm just very when it comes to my music, bro, I'm very passionate.
Mm,
Uh, and I'm very good at what I do. It doesn't matter if I'm rapping or if I'm just vibing out. I just feel like a lot of times, like in hip hop, bro, we got to be prepared to make, or in artistry, period, we got to be prepared to make music that just fits with the people. So I'm more of like I call it the Drake effect. The reason is because like I love Drake because you can hear him on different songs. Like you know what I mean. You hear him on a trap record. You hear him on the pop record.
mm.
You hear him on any type of song. So like my style is just me. I don't sound like nobody. Like you can't like my sound so new. It's just like when I blow up, like not if like, but when it blows up, it's gonna stick around for a minute because it's just like yo, he don't sound like nobody. That's refreshing to the ear. You know what I mean? So I think that's really dope.
Yeah, I relate. I agree with you. I would think that when Drake did I don't remember what came first, but he did Churchill Downs with Jack Harlow, and he spat a very good verse, and then he did Slime You Out, I think, with SZA, which are very two different songs, right? He's
Mhm.
he's singing very melodically in one, and then he's going hard with a verse on the other one. So I think that it's good to have that type of it's not diversity. I can't remember what the versatility. Versatility. I would say that it's very important to have that in your arsenal, and that can get you very far. And I do believe that within the next year, hopefully soon, that you do blow up bigger than you were before as
Preach,
an
bro.
artist.
Appreciate that.
You went live today and said Rockstar JT is dead.
Oh
Are you
yeah,
changing your name?
I just be trolling, bro. Like so, some of
Okay,
this stuff, like me trolling, bro. Like that's the art form for me, bro.
right.
I just be trolling a lot of these songs, bro. Like so, please
Okay,
don't listen to that.
for sure, for sure. I knew you weren't quitting music, but I was thinking maybe he's doing a name change, but that's interesting. Okay. Um. Okay, so now I have a story. I first found you, when so I guess that was Stick when that came out, and then
Yeah.
shortly after was the feature with T Dot, and then I followed you for a while, and I don't know if you remember this, bro, but it's been a while. It's been about a year and a half since this happened. You went live, and I was just getting into writing and the culture of hip hop and stuff, so I didn't know what any terminology meant. And I joined your live. Do you remember this? I joined your live stream on Instagram, and you asked a question. It says, it's do you know the one who's from the 334 where they kick your door or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah. And then I said I was clueless. I have no idea. I'm sorry. And you're like, "Bye." And you kicked me off the live stream. Bro, that was funny. I remember that. How does that go?
I
How does it
probably did. That's crazy. Yeah, bro. I be doing that, bro. People don't know the lyrics. People don't know the saying. It ain't no reason to be on here.
I
Come back when you know it later.
yeah, I thought that was funny.
Now you know it. Look, see? Now you know it.
Yeah,
Look,
there
ain't
you
that
go.
crazy? It worked.
Recently, I think it was last year you did Spring Fling, is that correct?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
How did that go? Tell us a little bit about that.
It was crazy, bro. I had this. I did it actually the year before that, which was crazy. Last year was crazy. So basically, it's just me like putting on a little festival show here in Atlanta, bro. And like um, I just want people to just come to the shows and be themselves, bro. Like people
Mm,
cop tickets and people just come and like have a good time. Last year was 18 and up, so it was a lot of like it was an older crowd, a lot of like college age, a little older than that. This year is gonna be all ages, but the year before that was all ages, and bro, like every year it just elevates, and it's just so beautiful that people still want to come see me live, see me perform live, bro. I think that's a beautiful thing. So, bro, yeah, it was amazing, bro. Like last year, they kind of like people was really like going off,
mm.
like cussing. It was crazy. I was like, wow.
That's awesome. Your music is very energetic and passionate as you described, and so I haven't met you in person. I'm out in Saskatchewan in Canada. That's the Midwest. You're in the States, but I know one day if I do see you in person and on tour, I know it's gonna be great because just based off your music videos, you're very energetic. You're jumping around, and I'm excited for that day because it would
Thank
be
you.
great. It's one thing to listen to an artist and hear their passion, but then see it in person. One
Oh, bro,
person.
it's gonna hit different. I really want all of my like people who actually listen, who know the music. Like, I just really want everybody in like one spot, and like we just rapping that to the top of
Man,
all. That
I'm
would be so
excited for
powerful.
that. I'm excited to meet you, bro. One day it's gonna happen. One day it's gonna
Hey,
happen.
facts.
Okay, secret guilty pleasure as a musician.
What is my bad? What is guilty pleasure? I'm a little. See, look, y'all. I'm from the hood. What that mean?
Okay, so that means like say for instance guilty pleasure, guilty pleasure. It's weird to classify it as a musician standpoint.
What does guilty pleasure mean?
Okay, so a guilty pleasure is like if you put ketchup on your cereal or something like that. And people would see that and think that's wild and gross and outrageous, but you like it and you don't care what they think. But from
Oh
a
yeah, okay, yeah. So my guilty pleasure is like my like I said, the a-hole persona.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
I love that. You know what I mean? Because it's so funny because like 2022 was a guy who's like, yo, somebody told me like, yo, JT, they said that you're hella arrogant and like hella like prideful. And then the guy was like, "Yo, no, but when I met you, bro, it's like the total opposite." I was like, "Bro, you got the thing that the Christian industry or industry period, they got to understand like personas. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro,
Yep.
the internet is not real. I'm not about to go on the internet looking struggling all the time, and
Yeah.
I have a brand push. If Walmart is going bankrupt, you will never know that.
Mm.
They gonna still push their brand and have their ads, do their commercial, and still, present themselves as a business. People go through financial and different issues and different
Mm-hmm.
things all the time. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the persona is one of the guilty pleasures. People like, ugh, gross, but I'm like, yo, I'm him for real. So yeah,
And I feel like that's required of artists. It doesn't matter
yeah,
what you're going through. You still have to bring it every single time when you're doing recording or on stage. You can't give anybody a hint to anything, right? And
yeah,
so it you have to.
that's
Um,
real.
are you okay with talking about features?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, who's up next? Who do you think is in your scope for a possible collab?
Man, bro, I'm working with so many people, bro. Uh, yeah, I can't disclose a lot of the names that I'm working with, but I will say I
Who would
just
you
dropped a
like to
song
work
with
with?
who would I like to work with.
Yeah.
Oh man, uh, dang, bro, it's this guy named Kenny Hoopla. He's like a rock singer. Like, bro, I
Mm,
really want to work with Kenny Hoopla. I want to work with Nardo Wick. I really want to work with Nardo Wick. I think we can make a really good bop. And like my
mm,
big dream collab, like right now, is like Ice Spice, bro. Like I really want to like work with Ice Spice. I really
okay.
freak her, bro. She's really fire to me, and so just that's right now. Next week that could change, but right now is like those three artists. I think they're really fire.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Um, it's been about 4 or 5 years since your first album, "The Streets Signed Me," the mixtape. Do you think possibly 2024 we may get an LP from you?
Well, it's gonna be another EP. It's dropping in May though. I'll tell you that. Like,
Okay. Awesome.
it's dropping in May. But so yeah, yo, when you go through a lot of stuff, bro. Some things happen, but yeah, it'll definitely heck
Of
yeah,
course.
bro.
Of
We
course.
get the project. Everybody's tired of the singles, and I am too.
For sure. Um, recently you came in close contact with Nicki Minaj. Is that correct?
Yes,
Did you meet her?
yes, I did.
What is she like?
I see. I don't see. The thing is, I had literally 5 seconds to
Oh, okay,
shake
okay.
her hand. So it's just like I met her, but it was very briefly.
Mm,
I met Drake before, and that was a more like that was like 10 minutes. That was cool, but like Nikki was literally brief. She was cool, but it's just like if I'm in her position and I got so many crazed fans,
yeah.
like just like oh you trying to get to everybody, you trying to get to everybody. So it was cool. So I didn't really get to figure her personality type yet, but we coming for
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Um, let me see here. The JT and Rockstar JT. What does that stand for?
My first name and my middle name. So yeah, my first name, uh, the birth given name that I was given, and my middle name. My first name started with a J, and my middle name started with a T.
Okay.
And my football coach, I used to play football in New York, Highland Falls, New York, Junior Black Knights. We call it JVK. We used to play for that, and basically, it was so crazy because, like, bro, like my coach gave me that name, and because I was like playing like I think I played like defensive end or something. And I just used to be like tackling like JT. That's what I'm talking about, JT. So yeah, man, JT is just my first name and my middle name, just the first letter and the first letter of my first letter of my middle name. Rockstar, I was inspired by Lil Wayne. He did a 2011 VMA performance with Rick Ross. It's called John. If I die today, remember me like John Lennon. So that song right there inspired me so much. I was like, yo, I want to name myself Rockstar. So Rockstar. comes from that. So it's like, yep. So when you put those both together, Rockstar JT. So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And so, was that your first go-to kind of name when you started doing music?
Well, it was weird because so it was JT, but at first it was like Professor JT, and I don't know why. Basically, Professor it's so crazy because when I think about it, bro, I'm like, man, maybe I'm schooling people. Like, I really want to go back to that. Like, I really might go back to that. I might make a song called Professor. Like, I ain't gonna lie, cause that's kind of hard. Like, I kind of rock with that. I kind of rock with that more than Rockstar. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Professor is hard.
Professor JT. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Um, we went through all those notes so quickly. I didn't expect to run
Wow.
out that fast. Um, would you prefer to stay independent or would you rather be signed to a record label?
Right now, I would rather be signed to a record label. Because of the connections and the social awareness and all of the perks that the record labels give you. But
Hmm.
like, I started my own label, and like, so now it's just like in the future, I would be independent after I've built the relationships for my own record label, so that my own record label, my personal record label, can continue to thrive
Hmm.
while I'm signing other artists and actually doing right by the other artists who I'm signing as well in the near future. So yeah, I would right now I would rather be signed just to get to where I could effectively be independent. If that
Hmm.
makes sense.
I agree with you. One thing that I used to be really set on in regards to music was always staying independent because I've heard stories and seen stuff from like other record labels where they just treat the artists like garbage and they get close to nothing towards the end of it. And so I was really set on just staying independent for all of my career. I'm not going to have any conversations with no labels, nothing. But then I hear how these independent artists are starting to talk about how they want to start their own labels so that they can properly help and assist the artist making the music. And so I really don't know what I want to do now. I think I want to stay independent. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe one day.
I definitely rock with that, bro.
One of the artists that I have respect for still in the CHH space, there's two. There's Andy Mineo and Hovey. Um, I know you're very close with Hovey. I don't know if you want to go into this, but
They
what
talked.
was it?
They talked to me like yesterday. Yeah, that's my brother, man.
For sure,
Real good guy, man. He taking care of his family, his wife, his kid Memphis.
for sure.
Um, so he taking care of them, and he's just a really, really amazing person. Uh, I was actually at his wedding, so man, like, we still locked in. I talked to him yesterday. I think he's an amazing person, man. He about to go on tour on the West Coast. He excited for that. So,
Hmm.
it's just crazy because like just with my friends, it's like I miss doing music with my friends, but a lot of time it doesn't make sense. Like, uh, that's my brother, and we may do a record in the near future, but
Hmm.
like, I miss my friends, man, and like that's one thing I do say I do miss my friends.
Hmm. That's fair. Yeah, I noticed that you were at the wedding, and I wanted to talk on that.
Yeah, heck yeah.
If you had to listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh wow, that's actually really crazy, bro. Wow, what is the wow,
One
bro?
album from one artist. That's a lot right
Yo.
there. I don't
Well, I just had to say Pink Friday too by Nicki Minaj.
Big Friday too.
No, no,
Okay.
not Pink Friday two. Pink Friday number one, the first one.
Okay. Okay. I would
Cause
probably.
like I still get a lot of other artists on that album, but I can still hear their voice,
Okay. There
hear
you
my
go.
favorite artists there, so it's good.
Okay. So you're trying to get the most out of the features, so you can listen to most.
Yep. And
Okay.
they got like Moment for Life on there. Like, you got the like Rihanna, Eminem, Kanye,
Oh
like
damn, that's a
everybody.
lineup.
Yeah, bro.
For real. Okay. I would probably pick. I don't know if you know who T Bone is.
I heard of him, the Christian
Yeah,
artist.
yeah. I would probably pick
Yeah,
Bon Appetit because I like him.
yeah, that's fire. I never heard of the project, but that's fire.
Yeah, he had a podcast too, and they've shut it down recently. But I listen to that all day. One thing outside of hip hop, or really, I can't just classify that because you are already a very creative person. Who do you listen to? Who are you listening to right now?
I'm listening to like Tame Impala right now. I'm on, like I said, I'm on a guy named Kenny Hoopla right now. I'm on a person called 070 Shake. She's like more alternative. My boy Montel Fish, like this is one of my best friends. Like I'm on like his music. I'm not going. Y'all make sure y'all go stream Montel Fish. If y'all ain't stream anybody, make sure y'all go stream him. Other than that, yeah, that's what I'm on. Like, and it's a few other things that I rock with, like on the low. It's just so many to name, but like and heavy in my rotation, it was those artists, and I think they fire, bro. They keep me up in the morning, you know.
What do you hope your listeners take away from your music?
When people listen to my music, it's just like, yo, just be yourself. Like, I pray that people can just like, yo, like you're allowed to be yourself, and don't let people like, yo, determine who you are or what you can make. So when people hear my stuff, like, bro, it's just like, yo, hear this creative music, but like, no, like, yo, it's okay to be different. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to look like something, but be something else. You have
Mm.
to, you have to learn how to like when my listeners here, I want to empower my listeners to set the culture, right? My listeners are setting the culture. The culture is not being set for my listeners, but my listeners are actually setting the culture. So
Mm.
I think like when people, I just want a different level of confidence, a different level of fun, a different level of motivation, and with the upcoming project, I feel like that's what's going to be, you know.
And does that help you sort of avoid writer's block? Does that keep you on a steady pace?
Uh,
Or when you
yeah,
get
I
writer's
was.
block, do you step back for a second?
Uh, I get writer. I barely get writer's block. I know that sounds crazy, but I just for me, bro. Like I think what helps me with writer's block is I take my time with music, bro. You know, um, like I go outside, I let time go past. That's why everybody be in the studio every day. That's cool, but for me, I'm not gonna be in the studio every day because I'm not motivated every day, and I don't want to force anything if I'm not feeling. That's just how I work. So
Mm.
yeah, I don't really struggle with writer's block right now. If I could say right now,
Okay. And how do you stay connected with your fans?
bro, just being myself, bro. Like Instagram, uh, what's the app called? Twitter, uh, TikTok, YouTube. Just being me, bro. Like mostly on Instagram though. Like a lot of my
Mm.
fans, like all of my like Instagram, my main app. Like I ain't gonna lie.
Same. Uh, all right. Can you share a funny or embarrassing moment from a live performance?
Yeah, I almost fell off the stage last year at Spring Fling, bro. So like, it's like a subwoofer, like, bro. It's so crazy because like it's a subwoofer they had, and like I guess I was a little too heavy to stand in the front of it, so like it was tilting and it happened like 5 times. I was like, yo, I'm so embarrassed. So that's like recently the most embarrassing moment that I had, bro. It's crazy.
A lot of stage are normally they're just boxes, aren't they? They're not really like screwed in or connected together. They're just like boxes that are loose hanging.
That's it. Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. I had one. Where is it? How do you balance the demands of touring and performing, or music, or video shoots in your case, with personal life and relationships?
See, that's the thing. That's what sets me back and my music back a lot of times, bro. I got a lot of personal stuff going on, so
Mm.
that's why I haven't dropped a project and everything. And like, I just need to. Is that's why when I drop, it's gonna actually be so special, bro. Because like, I be dealing with a lot of stuff personally, so I'm still learning that, bro. I'll be honest. Like it's something that I'm still learning how to gauge. I don't have an answer for that. I'll be real.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And then I think this will be the last question here.
Bet. I appreciate it.
I had it. My apologies. I had it. Now it's gone.
You good? You good, bro?
Damn, that was a good one too. Can you share a moment when you felt like you had a major breakthrough in your music career? What was the I made it moment?
Oh, I'm still waiting on that moment, but it's so crazy. So many of those moments, bro. It's so crazy. That's how you know the moments exist. Basically, dad. Uh, okay, I did a show in like 2021, bro, and like we did a show in like Missouri, and bro, like, I pulled up to the venue and like everybody got on my merch. I'm like, what? It was like, yeah. I was like, we got it online. I'm like, oh, really? I was like, yeah. So I think that was a very major thing for me, bro. I was just so happy because I'm like, dang, like people actually buy me merch. Where it's just like, yo, the demand for me is actually there, and I'm glad that people still paying attention to this day.
Mm,
Uh, and it feels good, bro. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie, bro. Like I really feel good to be able to be in this position, bro. So yeah, man, just trying to get everything ironed out in my personal life so we can continue to, thrive towards, greatness, man.
for sure, absolutely. Well, I think that's good. I think that's good for now. I should have had more questions, but that's on me. Thank you very
You
much
killed
for
it,
thank you very much for coming on the show, Rockstar
bro. I
JT. We
appreciate you,
appreciate it.
Josh, bro. You killed it, bro.
Thank you.
Amazing interview, bro. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I kind of got a little nervous, but it is what it
Nah,
is.
don't get nervous, bro. Look, we good, bro. You chilling, bro. I love this, bro. I appreciate y'all platform for letting me come on. It means a lot.
For sure. Thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate it. I bet you weren't expecting this, guys. I certainly wasn't. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rockstar JT. This is Alibi from the Jericho, and I will see you guys on the next episode. The schedule has changed. We are going from weekly episodes to every 3 weeks or every month is what we're trying to keep it limited to. So I will get the next guest lined up, and I will see you guys on that one. Rockstar, thank you very much. Appreciate it.